and welcome to this edition of Film Talks from the Tromsø International Film Festival. My name is Karsten Meinich. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Norwegian film journal Montages. And as you all can see, and as we all know, this edition of Film Talks is a digital edition, as the festival itself is. Sadly, we are all some sort of victim to this pandemic situation, but we can still cherish the great films and the great filmmakers that are programmed for this year's festival. And on today's program, we have a guest that is a first-time feature film filmmaker from France. And her film, Slalom, was first programmed by the Cannes Film Festival in 2020. Even though they had to cancel the physical edition, it was given the selection official stamp. And since then, it's been programmed in different places. And the director, Charlène Favier, is with us today. Hello, Charlène.
Hello.
Thank you for joining this talk, even though we would love to have you in Tromsø and being together to celebrate your film. This is at least some sort of way to meet you. And I'm very happy that you took your time to sit down with us. So this film, Slalom, I just have to start with the fact that it talks very directly to a Norwegian audience because we love our skiers and our mountains. It's very popular here. So when I just saw the title of your film and the background of the story, I thought, well, this will correspond to Norwegian audiences. Can you tell us a little bit about where this film started as an idea?
Yes, this film was really deep in my soul because I grew up in a ski resort called Val d'Isère in the French Alps that I think many skiers know because it's a really nice place for skier. My mother is a ski instructor. My father is selling ski gloves to the shops and I'm working with him. So I'm from a very young, very deeply into the ski world, actually. When I was thinking to do my first feature film, I was in La Fémis. It's a school in Paris, national cinema school, quite famous. When I entered, it was like I entered a workshop. It's
Right.
a 1 year script workshop where you have to write your first feature film. I had to find this idea, the good idea to do a first feature film because it's so hard to do a first feature film. You have to find a good idea. So I went to deeply in my soul, and I remember my childhood in Val d'Isère when I lived there and when I was going to the ski training really early in the morning, and I remember the relationship with my trainer. All those sensation came back to my mind and I had to write this story. I didn't really analyze what I was doing writing it, but I had to tell this story. Also, I was really obsessed by filming the mountain on this village where I grew up, which is really, how can I say, really weird. It's weird, but it's also really beautiful. And sometimes it's like a nightmare as well when it's stormy. And I really wanted to bring that to cinema because in France is a few film happening in the mountain and in the ski resort. So yeah, it was all those feelings.
That is very interesting place to start because it's so true. I mean, talking from a Norwegian perspective, of course we can go to France and visit places we like, but we also travel to France in their cinema, in your cinema. And so many films take place in Paris and every now and then, we have the Normandy or the Riviera. But I really felt, I didn't know about your background when I saw it the first time, and I thought, wow, this is so specific. I think also the psychological part of, being able to going down that hill, the speed, the control, it's very vividly portrayed in your film. Can you talk a little bit about the psychology of your main character and her relation to the skiing?
Yeah, you tell it really well because it's true that this feeling going to ski, going to face the mountain, going to ski the mountain, taking the risk, you have to be not afraid. You have to just let it go, and that's so intense when you're a teenager and you are also reaching your own limits and trying to to experience the world and the landscape and everything it's around you. So it was all those feelings I really wanted to try to film, actually. And my character Liz, this young girl, she's a bit like me when I was a teenager. So she's really courageous. She never show that something hurts her. She want to be like a man, actually. She want to be someone. She want to ski like a champion. She want to she's really hard, actually. She showed to the world that she's really hard, but in fact she's not. um that's all those feelings I wanted to describe and to make the audience feel it. I really wanted the audience to enter and to live this experience and this travel in this atmosphere with the character.
You found a really well-suited actress for this type of temperament, I can say. The first film I saw Noé Habita in was called Aiva. It was in the Cannes Film Festival. And we noticed her name and thought like, well, this is one of those first films and we were going to see her more. And now she's in your film. But I was looking at your short films, which you've made quite a few before your first feature film. And in Odol Gori, she also plays the main character. So you must have wanted to work with her again. And could you tell us maybe a little bit about how you made her discovery and what made her fit so well to Liz, the character in Slalom?
Yeah, in fact, I discovered her like you in Cannes in 2017 in App. Yeah, because she never played in any movie before. She didn't do any theater as well. She was really picked by a casting director for Hava for this film. I was writing Slalom because I started the writing in 2014, so I was really into the writing, and I was starting to think who is gonna play Liz. So that was really the main question. And when I saw her in Ava, I could feel something wild and something really hard in her. So I said, okay, I need to meet her. And we met, and she's really wild. So she's like a little animal. The first time when you meet her, she don't talk too much, and she's playing with you like a little squirrel. You know, she's like, woo, disappearing, and she was fascinating me, actually. I am a bit like that too. So I think we recognize each other. We had a little bit the same experiences when we were a teenager. So we started to speak a little bit about our own story, and we could recognize each other. When I was writing Slalom, I was a bit tired of this writing because it was really hard. So I decided to write this short film, Odol Gori. It was also a way to try a big scene of Slalom, which was really difficult for me to imagine. It was the main scene with this guy when the teenager facing her desire and his desire and all that. So I asked her, okay, do you want to play in the script, the shorts? And she said yes, and we enjoy so much to work together. Like, it was incredible. She could understand everything I wanted to show in my film, and it was like we didn't have to speak. It was really natural. At the end of the shorts, I told her, no, I have another project. It's a feature film, and I really want you to play the main character. But I have one question to ask you. Have you been skiing before? And she told me, yes, of course. When I was a kid, I was going to ski with my parents, and everything was like, yes, awesome. I was like, oh, that's a synchronicity. She ski as well. That's really. On 1 month before the shooting of Slalom, I called her and I said, okay, no way, we have to go now because we are going to shoot in 1 month. Everything is starting it, so we have to. And she told me, Charlene, I never ski. I lied to you. I was like,
no.
So, she's like a kid. She's playing all the time. We could do, and she did a great job because she never ski, and she had to enter into the body of a professional skier, which is really special. The way you take your ski, the way you put your boots, the way you look at the mountains, the way you face the environment. You know, I grew up there, and I have a special way to do all that. And I was really afraid because it was really important for me that the character was like leaving the mountain. And so I told her, okay, we have no choice. You have to go there for 1 month now, every day, and you have to experience that, and you have to live like a professional skier. So she did that. She went there alone. I find for her a trainer called Emily Socha, and every day she went to swim, went to run into the snow in the forest. She put the boots, she take the ski, everything. So yeah, she did a really, really big job.
It's a very interesting anecdote because it's also to me the fluidity in your film is perfect. Like I can never notice, you know, if you use some stunt double for something, it's always working really well. And her combination of the emotional connection, like you shoot her face and it's infinitely interesting. I can watch and look for what she's thinking. I can't figure it out. And at the same time, she has a physicality that suits this character really well. With Jeremy Renier, his career started as a young actor for the Dardenne brothers. And of course, now he's a professional, you know, veteran in his generation. But the chemistry between them has this same kind of... it's a little mysterious, and the relationship might go some way, but we don't really know, and you keep us on the edge all the time. How did they two work together, and what was your casting like for his character?
It was magic, really. No, but sometimes, you know, it's really hard to find the good people. You are searching a long time, you don't know. Sometimes on some short film, I had those big casting problems. But in Slalom, it was like an evidence, everything. Noé, so I asked her, and she said yes, of course, after doing the shorts. And Jeremy Renier, I had him on my head from the beginning because I really love this actor. He has something really true. He liked to transform his body for the roles. He's really, able to be someone else, and that's really important for me because for me the performances of an actor start really with the body. In France, most of the time it comes from the language.
Yeah.
But I come from the English and American school. I did the theater school in London when I was 18, and after I was in the US, and I learned the American method, which you learn to be the character. You have to be the character. Stop thinking, just be the character, and it will come true. And that's really what he liked to do, and I could see that. I don't know, in his play, in other film and everything. So I sent him the script. It took a long time to read it. So I had this really weird period where I had no answer. I was like, oh my God, I don't give a shit about myself. I'm a new young girl filmmaker. So I'm like, no one. So maybe he will never answer. And one day he answered to me and he told me, I just read the script. I love the script. I want to do the film. So it was like, I didn't cast anyone else. It was really, I was just waiting. And I knew in my head that this role was for him. With Noé, it was like, we were like a really strong trio, like a family, like brother and sister. Jeremy understood exactly what I wanted to say as well. And he was asking me many questions because his role is really hard. He's always on a hedge, and he's really paradoxal sometimes. So, but yeah, it was really like a trust relationship between us three, and that was really strong.
Well, it brings me a little bit also to the theme of not only Slalom, but I think there's a thread through your short films a little bit. So, you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do find that you are investigating in a very interesting way the complex relation between, let's say, the daughter or the younger woman, a girl, and some of these father figures, male characters. They seem to be like you're some sort of sculpting going on this theme. The tension when someone is experimenting almost within a relationship, like how far can this go in this direction? You know, and this follows in Slalom with her and her ski trainer. And I do think you are really finding a way to talk about that kind of relationship. Is this something you've been working on consciously? Can you tell us a little bit about?
I don't know if it's some consciously because
Okay.
it's like an obsession. Yeah. Now I see it on my work. Like I always tell the same story, and I can tell another story, and that's bother me sometimes. I'm like, fuck, do something else, you know. And the man who I live with, for example, is like, can you stop telling all this story all the time? Can you do something else? You know, the people around me would like me to tell another story, something bigger or something, you know. But yeah, it's really weird when you have something to. I think making film, I try to understand who I am on my past, actually. And it's also about a question of quest of identity and the femininity. How do I construct my own femininity, my story as a woman, passing by the teenager with the father relationship, passing by the young woman with the experimentation with sex and relationship with guys, and with sometimes violence and sometimes rape and sometimes all that. How do you become a woman? And that's, I think, yeah, the main obsession of my work. And I try also to tell something universal, because I don't want to do film just with my own obsession. You know, it come from there, but I think this is much more universal than my own story, actually. I think it tells a lot about relationship, about power, about behavior, about pulsion. And I try to understand the world. I try to understand how it works to yeah, I don't know, it's like a research.
It matches really with how I experience sort of a journey through your films, and I hope to see more of them. And
and actually, my next film, I'm working right now on a series, and it will be again the trajectory of a woman in 3 periods, because I always imagine my film as a triptych. Like, for example, you have Odalgori, Free Fall, and Omesa. This is 3 short, and they could do a story itself, you know, about the road of this young woman. And I always think, oh, I could do the film after Slalom, because I know what's happened to her. Because it's a little bit my life. So I know I could do like Liz at 25 years old and Liz at 35 years old. And yeah, and now I'm working on this series, and that's a bit like, yeah, what are the big period of a woman, what is she facing to become free to the grip of the society, free to the grip of the patriarchy, free to the grip of the love, free to the grip of becoming a mother, all that, you know. Anyway.
Yeah, do it. It makes me also think about Celine Sciamma's films. Each of the films, like Water Lilies and Tomboy, Girlhood, and now with the Portrait of a Lady of Fire, she is kind of investigating different phases of not the same character, but, you know, as you say, it's interesting to you enter the different places of a life with different films. So if there's time, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of your collaborators, because it seems to me like Slalom is a really great way to notice a new cinematographer for me and a new editor. Both of them seem to have worked on some of your earlier films. Your cinematographer, you worked on all the short films
Yes.
with him, no? So, and I saw he was nominated for like a Lumiere for best cinematography. And I also saw the film Mignon that he also shot. So I'm just thinking like Slalom is like a whole package of a lot of talented new French filmmakers. Can you talk a little bit about your collaboration with cinematographer, editor?
Yeah, that's really important for me, and I work with like a family. When I start making film, I didn't study cinema. I stopped school at like 19, so I was really making film. I learned trying to make film, and that's how I become like a filmmaker. My collaborator is the people who work with me from the beginning, and they were really, really important in my career, and we are still like really close, and we built really a family, and we grew up all together, and that's like so nice because they work with other filmmakers. For example, Yann Marito, my cinematographer, or Maxime, my editor, or Clément, my first assistant director. They work with other people, of course, but we grew up together. Like we are friends in life. We are talking a lot about many subjects. They read like the first idea of my script all the time. Like they are more than just technician people coming on a shooting. Like it's really teamworks. On Slalom, yeah, it's the result of like 10 years of working together, on 10 years of research, this research about those teenager and woman character, but also the picture and the art direction work that we did all together. Because for me, the art direction in a film and the colors and the frame and how you place, how you put your camera, what you want to tell with your camera, with the axis on everything is really important. That's also what I enjoy the most. I don't really like writing, actually. I like to work with the actor, and I like to draw the film with my team and to shape it. That's something I enjoy a lot. And with Yann Marito, my DOP, like we experiences many things in my shorts. And Slalom was a little bit the achievement of many reflection we had. For example, in Homesa, we try some camera work really slow, really still, and and at the end we were looking at the film and we were like, life is missing. Life is missing. So we did Odolgory. Odolgory is a camera where you are always in movement with the character. It's really different. And we're like, life is there, but we miss the landscape. We miss something that we had in Omesa. So in Slalom, it's a little a mix of those techniques that we experience in those short films. Also the color. We really try to work on the colors because I studied a little bit history of art when I was in college, and I studied the color, and that was really important for me because I think that the red is telling something inconsciously to the audience, the aggressivity, the passion, the love, and the blue is more the calm, the serenity, and maybe the dreaming world of a character. So how do I try to put some color in the frame? And I'm like, is something sometimes you don't see, but it's here. And it will have an impact on your brain. It's like something a bit magical. So we try to work on that. Yeah, Yan and all my team, they are so talented, and I couldn't do this film without them because it was a really, really low budget, less than 1 million euros, 5 weeks of shooting. So without a team like them, the film is not there. Like, it's their film as well.
And I think we can at least those who like to watch for who are working on this film, like the names, and like my colleagues, we were constantly talking when we see someone new. And on this film, as I said, it seems like you are introducing to us like yourself, your filmmaker colleagues, actors. So thank you very much for all of that. And I want to encourage all the audience in Norway and Tromsø to seek out your film, Slalom. And I don't know how much research you made about this northern part of Norway, but Tromsø has these incredible mountains surrounding the city. It's on an island, and the film festival takes place so that when you exit the cinema, you are looking up at the 1,000-meter mountain. So
I want to come.
I really, really hope you consider to come to Tromsø with your next project.
I hope.
But Charlène, thank you so much for your film, and good luck with your upcoming projects. It's been a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you so much, and I really look forward to come in Norway.
You are welcome.
Yeah. Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.